This is one more round, and tonight we're recapping Terrance McKinney versus Drew Dober, and it's on the can't say the guy's name. It's on the Ankalaev versus Santos card. We are gonna fix a hot toddy. So hot toddy is a really nice, tasty hot tea and Irish whiskey. The thing is, if you just pour whiskey into tea, it's gonna taste like shit. When I worked in a bar, mostly that's how we would make them. People kind of expect that, and it's quicker. I mean, it's not that much quicker, but if you're in a busy bar, it's a little quicker. And I don't know if this is like official or not, but I found an excellent way to make a hot toddy. It's so much better. It's really built on the same principles of cocktail making that I've already talked about here. But the basic idea is you start with a base of whiskey and lemon juice. Anytime that you're combining whiskey with citrus, you're doing this, it's called a sour. I mean, this is a whiskey sour. It's not what you would get if you ordered a whiskey sour, but anytime you're doing like alcohol and citrus in the presence of ice, you're making a sour. That's the idea. Here is put a little bit of lemon juice with a little bit of whiskey, let it hang out, mingle. I'm gonna put a little more lemon in because I like that. Then you put in the real whiskey you're gonna drink. If you're doing like a shot or 2 shots or whatever, you wanna do a little splash before. If you don't wanna make it too strong, just take that splash out of the initial 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces or whatever you're going for. If you wanna make it stronger, of course you can. And part of why people like this is it really lends itself to making a very strong drink that still tastes good. That's really what the ice and citrus, that's the benefit they bring to it. Any drink can be good if you make it weak, but if you want a strong drink to taste good, this is the way to do it. So now I'm gonna give it a couple fingers of whiskey. There we go. Ice, lemon, whiskey, right? I'm doing all that. Hey guys, come on, quiet. It's a hot toddy, so we got hot tea here. But again, we're not pouring the whiskey into the tea. My tea's done steeping, so I'm gonna get rid of this tea bag. You want some honey, and really this is good without honey. I don't usually put honey in it, but since I'm making it for you guys, I'm gonna put the honey in. Tea's hot. If you put honey into a cold drink, you end up with like, almost like rock candy. So we got our hot tea, green tea. You can use any tea you want. I like green tea. Honey, ice, lemon juice, whiskey. They've had time to mingle, hang out, do that thing that makes it good. And then you simply pour your hot tea over the concoction. The ice melts. You end up with a hot drink. Ice out, because I put too much ice in it to begin with. I thought the cup was a little bigger than it is. Perfect hot toddy. Let me try it. Only problem with that one, you can make it in a mug, or it doesn't matter what you make it in. I put it in this cup so you can see it form. The only problem is I use too much ice. So it's still warm, but it's not hot. Yeah, if you're copying what I did, use like 1 or maybe 2 ice cubes. I think I had 4 in there. Just use 1 or 2. Warm, pick me up on a cold day. I see the dogs. Jack, Roo. Hi, Roo. Hi, Roo. Hi, Jack. Fight recap. I got these toys that are a little more like movable. They got longer legs. They can bend a little bit. Just got finished watching that Ankalaev Santos fight. God, what a boring one that was. I'll start off recapping that because I just watched it. So they were in an open stance, Southpaw versus Orthodox. Ankalaev, we'll call him Ankalaev, the psychotic bunny, consistently getting his front foot outside Santos's front foot. That's why you'd see Santos switching sometimes. Also consistently pressuring. Santos advanced a little bit, like he had one good one in the 3rd round, but for the most part, he was looking to counter. Because he's looking to counter and he's so powerful, Ankalaev gets kind of shy. So he's trying to feint to bring out a strike so that he can counter it. But Santos is really doing the same thing. Feinting battle, footwork battle, neither guy trying actively to win the fight. Both guys very motivated not to lose the fight, not to get, quiet, Roo, not to get knocked out or caught. Boring as shit. Wish they could both lose. I shouldn't say that. I'm not in that position. Anyway, why not go for it? Man, Khalil Rountree. He just went out and curb stomped Roberson. I don't even know how to reenact it. I guess there was one cool moment where we'll call the teddy bear Rountree, and Roberson's like trying to get up, and Rountree just kicks him in the liver while he's on the ground. I've never seen that before. Such an accurate, intentional body kick to a guy who's grounded. Doesn't want to get a penalty by kicking him in the head or something, but he went straight to that liver. That was pretty cool. Moving on to the fight that I wrote about in my column, Terrance McKinney. Man, that fight, I'll tell you what, I originally was going to write a column exactly like the one that I wrote, except I was going to pick Drew Dober. For all the reasons I wrote, that McKinney is, skill-wise and athletically, he's better all across the board, but he's so reckless. I had this vision of Dober kind of withstanding the barrage, gaining an advantage in terms of energy, using his experience to win the fight. That was what my gut told me, my intuition. But watching Terrance McKinney's old fights, I thought, he's just too good. The guy who's going to beat him will be a guy like Drew Dober, but better than Drew Dober. That fight could have been stopped with... Quiet! That fight could have been stopped with... when McKinney was just tearing Drew Dober up in the very beginning, that fight damn near got stopped then. So we'll call the teddy bear. I don't know what the hell these toys are. They're like zombie something, but the teddy bear, McKinney, he opens with a knee to the face of Dober, drops him, starts just beating the shit out of him. Dober just survived. And about the 3-minute mark, I said to my dad, who I was watching with, I was like, McKinney has used all his energy. So he's been dominating the fight to this point, but now he's helpless. He's already lost. From that point on, about the 3-minute mark on, we just saw Drew Dober fighting a guy with no energy left at all. And so it was a matter of time at that point. So not much to reenact. I mean, it was just a whirlwind over here. Knee. He landed a couple knees, a lot of ground and pound. Again, the fight could have been stopped a few times early on, but it was not stopped. Drew Dober survived. And then he came back and actually knocked Terrance McKinney out with the same shot that Sean Woodson did that I talked about. It was a knee, but it was like the knee was functionally made to work because McKinney's tired and he's shooting for this lazy takedown, and he just kind of dives into the knee. Like the knee isn't being brought up. It's not flying and like shooting up into his face. He's like diving into it practically. It was the same thing. I mean, it's always sucks when like the analysis is perfect, but the fight doesn't go the way you want. It happens. It's fighting. It's random. Football's bounce funny. All that garbage. Goodbye, Terrance McKinney. I still think you're a fucking cool guy and probably going to be champ one day. Maybe, if you can learn from stuff like tonight. Drew Dober, good job. See if we can leave you up right there, you little bunny. One more round.